Okay, well, we have a really full schedule this morning. We're going to start with an update from the Foundation for Rural Services, also known as FRS. I'd like to invite Kramer, FRS President and CEO and General Manager of Wilkes Communications and River Street Networks in Wilkesboro, North Carolina, and also Jessica Golden, FRS Executive Director, to the stage.
Good morning. Thank you for the introduction. Again, my name is Kramer. I have the honor of being the board chairman for FRS for 2018. I've been on the board for about 5 years, and I really appreciate the opportunity to just have a few minutes to tell you a little bit about what we do. Before I became a board member, and I go to the meetings, and you hear about FRS, and I really wasn't exactly sure what it did. And since I've been on the board, I have a real appreciation for the foundation. The FRS is really the association's foundation. It supports the association, and what its purpose is really is to tell your story, to tell our story. And that's not possible without your donations. We have a wonderful staff, Jessica, Annette, Keith. If you haven't met them, we're blessed. They work hard every single day to work with the programs and things and tell our story. Behind me, you'll see a PowerPoint with the list of our donors. If you're one of these companies that have donated, we sincerely appreciate that donation. If you haven't, please consider that. I want to thank every single one of you, either individual donors or companies that's donated. With these donations, over the last 24 years, FRS has done some of the following things. We've invested over $1 million in scholarships for rural students in our communities. We've taken dozens of congressional staffers from Capitol Hill into rural America to visit your companies to see exactly what you do. Building a network of people in D.C. that have been out there, on the ground, seeing what we do. It's important, building a network of people that we can call on. We've invited more than 2,000 students to Washington, D.C. from your communities to learn about leadership and rural telecommunications. This is our youth tour. I've been on the youth tour. If you have a chance to go, please do so. A lot of these kids, it's the first time they've ever been out of the county. They've been on a plane or flown. It's, for some of them, it's a life-changing experience. We've invested more than $100,000 in grants, enabling telemedicine, distance education, small business incubators, library improvements, and even a program that's combating the opioid crisis. This year, we launched our very first FRS Rural Youth App Challenge. This was challenging youth to come up with an idea for an app that solves a problem in their local communities. We developed countless educational materials for you on issues like smart agriculture, telehealth, Lifeline, the economic impact of rural broadband, and even a glossary of terms. I'm proud to say today we're launching a brand new white paper. This is our second white paper. It's called a Cyber Economy, the Transactional Value of the Internet in Rural America. This paper takes a look at the dollar amount that's attributed to internet-based transactions, and I hope it'll be helpful in our advocacy efforts. Our first paper was pretty successful, and it's been used in our lobbying efforts. Of all these things, none of this would be possible without your donations, your support. I understand these are challenging times. We just talked about the dues going up, and we're seeing pressure from the FCC. But just a very small donation can help, and I challenge all of you. When you get back home to your companies, you're sitting in your board meetings, just please consider just a very small $500 donation or more. If every single company in the association can be just $500, the difference that can make would be monumental. I look around and I see so many rural advocates, so many people that are doing really good things in their community. I really would implore you to help FRS to tell that story. It magnifies. It takes what you're doing and it really highlights it. There's a new program we have at FRS. You can donate in memorial for someone. So you can go online, and what happens is when you donate in honor of that person, you can send a letter to that individual to their family. Shirley mentioned earlier this morning about our website. Please visit that. It's www.frs.org. Or contact any of the FRS team, or if you see any of your board members at the meetings, Please, if you have any questions at all, just ask. We'd love to tell you about FRS and what FRS does and our story. We appreciate you if you attend the events. Those events help support the foundation. I just want to thank all of you, each and every one of your companies, for what you do, investing in rural communities. We just want to help tell that story. So right now, I'd like to pass the floor to Jessica, and I'd also like to show you a quick video from Ms. Casey Vickers, a 2000 FRS scholarship recipient. She was sponsored by DTC Communications in Tennessee.
Hi, I'm Casey Vickers. I'm a recipient of a 2017 Foundation for Rural Service Scholarship. I live on a farm in a small rural community in DeKalb County, Tennessee, which is located about 45 miles east of Nashville. Life on the farm wasn't always easy, but the love of my family helped make the hard work not so hard. I'm the youngest of 5 children. My parents instilled in each of us that we could accomplish anything in life with a lot of hard work, dedication, and faith in Jesus. My dad passed away just 3 months before I graduated high school. Making ends meet on a substitute teacher's pay has been challenging, to say the least. Winning the FRS scholarship has been such a blessing. It has taken some of the financial burden off of my family. After I finish my education, I want to move back to DeKalb County as a high school history teacher. My dad loved history, and I want to share the love he had for history with all of my students. Thank you, FRS and DTC Communications, for awarding me this scholarship. It has helped to make this girl's dreams come true.
Wow, don't you just love Casey's story? She's just one of the many incredible winners and recipients of the FRS Scholarship Program. Good morning, my name is Jessica Golden, and I'm Executive Director of the Foundation for Rural Service. You know, at the end of each scholarship season, the FRS team receives back the group of winners that have been selected by an independent review committee. And we give each sponsoring telco the option of calling those students to let them know the good news. But should that telco decide not to, the honor falls to us. And I have to say, it is one of the most incredible privileges that I have ever had the honor of taking part in. On those phone calls, I've heard tears, yelps of joy, and stunned silences. Each year, FRS receives over 1,500 applications from across the United States for our scholarship program. Students with similar stories to Casey's, who are hardworking, smart, and dedicated to their communities. And each year, FRS is able to award between 50 and 60 scholarships. So I ask you today to think about the possible. Imagine what we could accomplish, the impact we could make, the lives we could change among those 1,400 other students with just a little more help. You know, each year I look forward to coming to our NTCA conferences because it's an opportunity for us as a staff to talk to you, hear how you're doing, hearing how you're investing in each of your communities. It's a breath of fresh air, and it's a reminder of why we all do what we do, even when it seems impossible. Francis of Assisi once said, to start by doing what is necessary, then do what is possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. At FRS, with your support, with the support of our donors and sponsors, we are able to work towards accomplishing the impossible. And that is because we are part of such an incredible community here, a community that fights to keep the rural voice at the table, and a community that invests back into itself to ensure that our communities remain vibrant, strong, and united in the years to come. Our 25th anniversary for FRS is coming up next year, and that anniversary has had me reflecting a lot on the values that drive us each and every day, drive us to help us accomplish the impossible. Those values of inclusion, support, compassion, kindness, and community. These are values that drive us each and every day at FRS, and most ardently so in our programs. I am so proud of our scholarships, our grants, our youth tour, our congressional broadband tour, and our educational materials. But none of these would be possible without the support of our donors and sponsors. Now, I know we say this all the time, but every bit truly does count and matter and invest back into a student or a community or into an educational initiative. We clearly have a lot of people to thank based on the list that was going behind Eric as he spoke. Companies and individuals who have made investing in FRS a priority. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And as you can see from Ms. Casey Vickers' story, the impact is real. And the impact continues to grow as an investment in our communities, in our youth, in our future. We are very passionate about what we do at FRS. We couldn't do it without the help of our board, members like Eric, our staff, Annette and Keith as well. We couldn't do it without each and every individual in this room for what you do in each of your communities. So on that note, I'd also like to challenge everyone in this room, if you don't yet donate to FRS, please consider doing so today. You may not think that a $50 contribution makes a difference, but when you think about the fact that a $500 scholarship can make the difference for a student deciding whether or not they can go to college, or go to community school, or get a vocational degree, every bit does count and matter as an investment back in. So please go to frs.org or approach any of us with any of your questions. We're happy to take them. And with that, I would like to invite up a company that is doing something very special for FRS this year for their anniversary. NISC, please join me on stage.
Well, good morning, everybody. Congratulations on yet again another wonderful Rtime. It's always our pleasure to be here, and greetings on behalf of Vern Dosch and our board of directors at NISC. This week, we are celebrating with our members 50 years of innovations and service to our members, and we held our annual meeting here at Rtime on Monday. One of our founding members 50 years ago, Consolidated Telecom in Dickinson, North Dakota, is still our member yet today. And today we represent just over 250 of NTCA's members as well. So when we started laying out the framework for this 50th anniversary, one of the things we wanted to do was come up with a charitable component. We wanted to give something back to the industry, all of you, that have given so much to us over the years. And so just about a year ago, we launched the NISC 50 at 50 campaign. The goal was to raise $50,000 from our NISC employees who are here on stage, and all of those folks back home. On Sunday, we donated $25,000 to NRECA International, who is charged with the mission of forming cooperatives in places all over the world that need the help the most. In the telecommunications industry, there was no better choice for us to donate than to NTCA's Foundation for Rural Service. We are all in the rural development game, and all of you should be commended for deploying high-speed broadband internet, which is absolutely critical in 21st century infrastructure. And for us, it was an easy choice. FRS, obviously in the rural development game as well, the work that they do, as you saw in the video and just heard from Jessica, the work they do in engaging the next generation of broadband users, supporting our youth, rural healthcare, rural education, it's absolutely our honor. And I want to commend all of our employees that are on stage that donated, all of our folks back home. Our donations range from as small as $20 all the way up to $500. And so on behalf of NISC, we would like to, Jessica, thank you for your leadership and your vision for the foundation, and present a check on behalf of NISC's employees for $25,000. Thank you.